Dear respected facilitator and participants of the Enhancing Academic English program, greetings from Nepal. I want to thank you for providing me this great opportunity to share my presentation. It's me, Rekha Shrestha from Nepal. Currently, I am doing my PhD research from Tribhuvan University. Today, I am going to present an outline of my research proposal on marital relations and violence against professional married women in Nepal. Violence against women is a global social issue. Gender-based violence is taken as a violation of human rights. In other words, it can be said that an unfair power relationship between spouses can create an environment of violence. In recent days, spousal violence has become one of the common issues within spousal relationship where married women are experiencing various forms of violence. In such situations, professional married women are at greater risk of violence all the time, which may be double in comparison to general women. That's why I have chosen this topic to further study marital relationship and violence. Now I am going to share the structure of my presentation. Background, context and rationale for choosing the topic will be shared in the first slide. Objective and some research equations will be shared in the second slide. Social contribution of the research will be presented in third slide. Theoretical and empirical review of the story under literature review will be presented in fourth and fifth slide. Ontology, epistemology, and angiology will be discussed under the philosophical foundation in sixth slide. Research design will be discussed under the research methodology will be discussed in seventh slide, and tentative roadmap of the thesis writing will be sharing in the last slide. Now, I am going to present about prevalence of spousal violence at global and national level. Intimate partner violence, spousal violence, or marital violence are known as a form of domestic violence that take place between two individuals in a formal and informal relationship which is widely spreading around the world. The first graph shows the prevalence data variation between countries on physical or sexual intimate partner violence. We saw significant differences in average level of violence between different countries. The prevalence data was carried out by a World Health Organization multi-country study on women's health and domestic violence in 2005. In Ethiopia, 53% of women reported being physically or sexually abused by an intimate partner compared to 3% in Japan. The second graph shows the comparative data of the National Demographic Health Survey on spousal violence in Nepal. Nepal government acknowledged spousal violence for the first time in 2011 and introduced a questionnaire in the survey. In 2011, 32% of women faced abuse from their partner, whereas 26% in 2016 and 27% in 2022. Here I am going to present the objective of the story. The main objective of the story is to explore the influence of the patriarchal behavior of male spouse on the marital relations of professional married women. Based on the objective, I have outlined the research questions such as how do professional married women understand marriage? How do professional married women perceive patriarchy norms? What is the nature and extent of violence against professional married women? Now, I am going to share about social contribution. Most of the research studies carried out on general women, rural, pregnant, or newly married women, etc. There are very few studies carried out on professional married women. The research will contribute to society in different ways, such as developing a clear understanding of spousal violence against professional married women and disseminating information that professional women are also facing violence, as well as how they themselves develop coping strategies to maintain an professional life in the society. My story will motivate those professional married women who are experiencing violence to raise their issues for social justice. Policymakers will be informed about these emerging issues. I have selected three theories such as patriarchy, masculinity, and family system. Patriarchy is a system that refers to power and control in the relationship. Patriarchy is indeed a complex social system where power, control, dominance, and exploitation are traditionally held by men. Masculinity refers symbolically to make bodies and explore behavior based on social norms. A spousal relationship, traditionally known as a marital relationship, may worsen when patriarchy influences the relationship through masculinity. Family system theory refers to the structures and dynamics of spousal relationship within a family unit. In, it encompasses the role, responsibilities, and interaction among family members, as well as the values, norms, and traditional that shape family life. The nature of a relationship is presupposition of a family system that focuses on the sequence of interaction among the family members. Now, I'm going to share about empirical review on the literature review. 141 studies from 81 countries shows that globally 30% of married women experience violence during their lifetime. It exists around the world and it is a common major health and human rights problem. South Asia is one of the most violence-prone regions in the world, with half of the women suffering from spousal violence. In Pakistan, 62% of women have been exposed to psychological violence from their partner. Spousal violence is rooted in Nepalese society, but women were less likely to report violence experienced by their husband. I have already mentioned that National Demographic Health Survey report shows that there is a prevalence of spousal violence in Nepal. Here I am going to share about philosophical foundation. Ontology is the starting point of my research, which guides me to take epistemological and angelological position. The social and physical objective realities will be sensed. The focus of my research is neither men nor women, but the effect of acts that happen in women and how they perceive events and effect on their lives. In this sense, the focus of the story is on the relationship between spouses. The social realities are measurable and can be expressed in qualitative way. The focus of the story is on the experience of women in the events that occur to them. Experiential knowledge will be constructed through interpretation. The story assumes that the social location of the people as well as affect the effect process of research. The interpretation of social events and phenomena including discourse and interaction. Hence, knowledge is value laden. However, I will try to minimize this by putting all my values aside during the research process. Here I am going to share about research methodology. My research is based on qualitative research. The main research design that will employed in the study will be a life history design in combination with in-depth interview. The research participants for the study will be married professional women living in 3 districts of Kathmandu Valley at the time of field inquiry. Now, here I am going to share about my roadmap of converting this proposal into thesis. The commencement of field research will start in October 2023 for a conduction of pilot research, and based on pilot research, full-phase research will begin from January 2024. In between, revision and feedback incorporation will take place immersively throughout the period, and the first draft report will be in place by June 2025, and the second draft report will be in place by December 2025. The final draft report will be submitted for defense by December 2025, and the finalization of the thesis will be completed by July 2026. Thank you so much for your valuable time and for watching outline of my research proposal. Your constructive suggestions are warmly welcome. Thank you so much again.